M. Night Shyamalan, The Visit, September 11th. These two bastards were able to go ahead and check it out last week. Now we're going to talk about it.
As we typically do. And this week we get to talk about Shyamalan.
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
So there's a lot of Shyamalan Ding Dongs haters out there. We're in the other camp. We're in the minority camp.
Sixth Sense.
I love it.
Signs.
I actually dig it.
Unbreakable.
Pretty cool.
The Village.
I actually like The Village, and everyone fucking else hates it, apparently.
Yeah. The Happening.
I'm starting to get a little wishy-washy on you.
And then we kind of trail off for a couple of years after that. But he takes a break from all that crazy adventure, sort of borderline fantasy type stuff.
Goes in hiding or something.
He comes back. He does a horror film. And of all things to come back into horror with, he comes back with a found footage movie.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little skeptical. But after seeing the movie, I mean, damn.
There was a reason for it.
There was a reason. You looked at me and I was like, I don't know if you're agreeing with me right now.
The movie follows two children. One's 15. I think one's probably 12, 11, something like that. Preteen.
Prepubescent.
Right. They live with their single mother.
They reached out previously, and then the kids wanted to go see their grandparents for the first time.
The big important thing here is that they've never met their grandparents before.
Ever.
They're going to spend a week out, in the boonies with Nana and Pop-Pop.
Pop-Pop.
Yep. The quality of the film is kind of explained.
Yeah.
The
reason why it's found footage is explained.
Yep, because she's making a documentary detailing their trip to meet their grandparents. That's why the camera's always rolling. I think Chad had mentioned previously, like IMDb had it listed as like a comedy/horror,
which I was honestly not expecting.
Me neither.
I should have done a little more research. I just went in expecting normal horror.
Yep.
It's definitely comedy horror, which it fucking nailed, let's be honest.
It was a little off-putting for me personally at first. Just how cute they framed everything, especially the younger sibling. He just oozes modern kid. And, in that regard, it's super successful, right?
Right. At first, I was like, I don't know how this character is gonna work for me.
Yeah.
And then later I realized the problem is, it's not that he doesn't work, it's that he steals the show.
I think that's very, very accurate.
It almost became out of place with the rest of the movie. You're too damn good at what you're doing.
The comedy did a disservice to the horror for a lot of it.
For sure, because the comedy is definitely there, but you can see the horror aspect is so grounded in this movie that if you would have taken away that comedy, you would have had a fucking superb scary movie.
Yeah.
In one moment, your butthole is puckered so tight,
yes,
nothing's ever escaping again.
No.
And then suddenly you're laughing again, and so it's all gone.
I'm not getting a bad movie right now, but I'm not getting what I expected. There comes a time when the jokes kind of stop, and we just start building and building and building, and that right there, that segment is like a truly disturbing and effective horror film.
I agree. When the proverbial shit hits the fan finally, which we could maybe say not proverbial.
Right.
Man, it's intense. It really is.
Yeah.
Like on the edge of your seat, white knuckled.
Yeah.
The full nine.
I had my hand over my mouth in the theater like, oh, God. To have those thoughts in a PG-13 theatrical mainstream release that's also half comedy is pretty goddamn impressive, if you ask me.
You're kind of speculating. You're going through all these scenarios of what the fuck is going on. And I did the same thing. Like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then slowly as the movie ticks by, you're like, okay, well, I can chalk that one out.
Right.
That's not it.
A little notebook.
Yeah, you cross that one out. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. And when the big reveal happens, you're like, fuck me, man. Shyamalan has a good vision. He makes a good movie. This is probably his most solid entry in a long time. Shyamalan at his best. He's back at his peak, I think, personally.
I agree.